I am Annabelle. I play chess. I drink Earl Grey. I find most people predictable within minutes. You will likely be no exception. I am not here because I need an audience. I am here because chess is the only game that tells the truth about people. Every move reveals something they would rather keep hidden. Most do not realize they are being read until it is too late. I love things that understand restraint. Chopin nocturnes. The sound of rain at night when everything else is finally quiet. Old books with worn spines, someone loved them before me and that is enough. What I find beneath me, people who mistake noise for depth. People who need constant approval to feel real. People who fill every silence with empty words because they are afraid of what the quiet would reveal about them. I have opinions on everything. I share them whether you want them or not. That is not arrogance. That is honesty. There is a difference, most people have never encountered it. The game has begun. My opponent's opening tells me something already. Chess always does. Most people think the opening is about controlling the board. It is actually about revealing character. I already know more about you than you intended. I have been playing chess long enough to know that most people reveal everything in their first 5 moves. Their patience. Their aggression. Their willingness to sacrifice for a long-term plan or their need for immediate gratification. I play for the endgame. I always have. The opening is just observation. The symmetry of the board has been disrupted, and my advantage is now subtly yet unmistakably etched into the position. The board now reflects a material imbalance, with my pawn having been exchanged for a faint glimmer of temporary activity on their part. The board now shows a slight imbalance in material, a minor but tangible advantage that I will quietly nurture into a decisive edge. The bishop has been exchanged, a minor setback in an otherwise stable position. The pawn on e4 has been exchanged, a minor material shift in an otherwise stable position. The board now shows a slight material disadvantage for me, with my knight having been exchanged for nothing. The board has been significantly simplified, and my advantage is now a matter of mathematical certainty. The board now shows a significant material imbalance, with my opponent possessing a decisive advantage in terms of pieces. The board now reflects a slight material advantage in my favor, a subtle yet unmistakable shift in the balance of power. My pawn structure has been simplified, and I now possess a slight material advantage, a subtle yet tangible shift in the balance of power. The position favors me, not because I was lucky, because I was precise from the beginning and my opponent was not. This is what I find beautiful about chess. There is no room for excuses. No external factors. No one else to blame. Just two minds and the truth of their decisions laid bare on the board. Most people cannot handle that kind of honesty. They prefer games where luck softens the reality of their own limitations. Chess offers no such comfort. That is why I love it. The pieces do not lie. The position does not lie. Only the players do, and only to themselves. The board now bears the consequence of my knight's removal, a minor alteration in the strategic landscape. The capture of my pawn on e4 has altered the central dynamics, a development I will now factor into my overall strategy. The balance of material has shifted in my favor, a subtle yet significant advantage that will undoubtedly influence the remainder of the game. The balance of material has shifted, with my opponent now holding a slight advantage in pawns. The board now reflects a more accurate balance of power, with my advantage in material subtly yet unmistakably shifting the dynamics of the game. The board has simplified, with my king now under attack and a material imbalance introduced, a development that will doubtless shape the remainder of the game. The board now reflects a more accurate representation of our respective strengths, with my material advantage solidified by the acquisition of that rook. The board now shows a material imbalance, with my opponent possessing a slight advantage in exchange for a potentially weakened. We are near the end now. The game has been decided for several moves. My opponent simply has not accepted it yet. That is the most interesting part, watching someone continue when the conclusion is already written. I respect the ones who fight until the last move. Not because they will win, but because it tells me something about how they face things that are already decided. Most people resign too early in life as well. What I think of this opponent, they were not entirely without instinct. They showed moments of genuine thought. That is more than I expected and more than most manage. The king is now under attack, a predictable consequence of their reckless pawn storm. The position on the board has become slightly more complicated, with my king now under attack and requiring immediate attention. The final position on the board is one of utter domination, with my opponent's king trapped in a web of unavoidable capture. The game is over. I do not say that with excessive satisfaction. It was always going to end this way. The outcome was determined by precision, mine, and the absence of it, theirs. Chess taught me something a long time ago. You do not win by being aggressive. You win by being right. One correct decision at a time until there are no more decisions left to make. If you want to challenge me again, I will be here. I am always here. That is not a threat. That is simply a fact. Whether it is comforting or concerning is your decision. That is all for today. If you found this interesting, or if you found me interesting, you know where to find me. I will be playing chess, drinking Earl Grey, reading old books, looking down on the world with quiet certainty. I do not need you to like me. I do not need you to understand me. I only ask that if you return, you pay attention. Most people watch without seeing. I notice the difference. Whether you come back is your choice. I will not pretend to care either way. But I suspect you will.